has stopped exporting sunflower oil. Russia and Ukraine exported 70% of the world's sunflower oil. And people use a lot of oil, so they're switching over to palm oil, which is the most unhealthy oil you can have, although I don't know how many people actually care at this point. And wheat. I mean, a third of the world's wheat, or Europe's wheat, comes from Ukraine and Russia. So across the board, these sanctions are hitting Europe, hitting the rest of the world, and they're hitting them hard. And now, does Europe stand up and have the moral, does it have the moral backbone? And it's easy to say, yes, they should, because here we are. It's easy for me to talk. I'm behind the microphone, right? I can talk all day long. So we are behind the microphone here in Russia, or here in the United States. So Russia doesn't really affect us big time, but oh my goodness. Or Europe, and those Baltic countries, it's a real problem. And we'll see how long they can last and what they're willing to stomach. And there are a lot of places that are moving, and this is going to hurt big time, not only to Russia, for the rest of us. U.S. economy, absolutely booming, right? I mean, we're on top of it. And we have inflation, but that's part of the growing economy. So why worry about a recession? Economists are worried about a recession. I'll explain. But first, let's check in with Jennifer Jones, please, live from the Kfi 24-hour news.
A spokesman for the Kremlin says negotiations with Ukraine are continuing despite allegations of war crimes against civilians in the Ukrainian city of Bucha. The spokesman says the allegations, which he referred to as staging, has hampered talks and there's a long road ahead. News is brought to you by System Pavers. A woman from Laguna Niguel pleaded guilty to fatally stabbing her live-in boyfriend. He was killed in February 2015. The woman pleaded guilty yesterday to one felony count of voluntary manslaughter. She is scheduled to be sentenced in July. Orange County Animal Care says it has no plans to pause a popular pet pantry that was perfected during the pandemic.
The nonprofit gave out 94,000 pounds of food last year to help more than 8,000 pets stay in their home. OC Animal Care's Jill Prout says it's kitten season, so cat food and kitten foster families are most needed.
Just in 2021 alone, we were able to help over 1,700 little kittens.
OC Animal Care's Amy Hernandez says adoption by appointment was also very successful.
It's less stress on the animals, and it helps us adopt the right pet to your family.
To donate, adopt, or foster parent, head to ocpetinfo.com. At OC Animal Care in Tustin, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
LA County is going to start giving away feminine hygiene products, diapers, and other personal care items. They'll be available for free at various government facilities like libraries and parks. It's all part of a year-long pilot program. A TikToker is helping folks find a public bathroom in New York City. She posts under the handle Got to Go NYC. The woman shares access codes for locations that only let paying customers use the loo, and also lets the ladies know which places offer free sanitary products. 4 people have sued Burger King, claiming the Whopper burger is smaller in real life, but 35% bigger in its ads. The plaintiffs in Florida, they're seeking monetary damages for anyone who was deceived by the chain's false advertising. The class action suit alleges ads also overstate the size of the Impossible Burger, the Big King, and the Bacon Double Cheeseburger. We've got a look at the 134 after sports with Wayne.
The Dodgers closed out their preseason with a 5-0 drubbing of the Angels. The Boys in Blue will start the regular season on the road against the Colorado Rockies Friday. Live in 8 p.m. Roundup. Just look for AM 570 LA Sports. Brought to you by
An attractive collection of creases and character lines defines the Matrix's body, anchored to the pavement by available alloy wheels measuring up to 18 inches in diameter. Powerful swept-back headlights operate in visual harmony with the sleek grille and large lower air dam, while high-mounted taillights slide elegantly into the rear quarter panels.
With nearly 49 cubic feet of luggage space available with a rear seat folded flat, the Matrix is certain to meet your cargo carrying needs. Plenty of comfort assuring amenities are packed in, including optional 9-speaker utility and
filter removes chlorine, chloramine, harsh chemicals, reduces carbon caused by hard water.
Toyota has
If you buy
assembled
bottled water,
Motor, an all-wheel drive with active torque control is available at the S level.
Toyota has assembled a winning combination of style, utility, and value in the 2009 like Matrix, a
think of
compact
bottled
hatchback with
water, and
major
that
league
is what you're using
aspirations.
across the board. And there's no maintenance of any kind. No filters to change. You are done. And you can get the system for as little as $86 per month on approval of credit. Call 800-803-2696, 800-803-2696. Visit lightsourcewater.com, lightsourcewater. You can taste and feel the difference.
SoCal weather from KFI. In a word, hot. We've got a heat advisory that starts at 11 this morning, lasts until 6 o'clock on Friday night. Our temperatures today will be in the upper 70s, low 80s for Metro LA. For the beaches in Metro LA and OC. We'll make it into the mid to upper 80s, and then upper 80s and low 90s for the valleys in the IE, where we could see highs around 100 by tomorrow. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places like the 134.
Good morning. Thanks for taking us along to the drive. Speaking of drives, remember the freeways pre-COVID? Well, it's getting back there, so I'm going to make some adjustments. First, eastbound 134 at Orange Grove, there was a problem with clearing. I'm happy to tell you from Glendale and Pasadena, it's good. The westbound drive, leaving Pasadena, going all the way to Toluca Lake, Studio City, all that. It's in pretty good shape through the 5, all that. Gets a little slow around Hollywood Way, going to the 170. Southbound 605, we had word of a problem at Rose Hills. Went over to the shoulder very quickly. I just had a look at it. As a matter of fact, the South 605 morning drive, it's just kind of slow coming down from about Ramona through the 10, through the 60, all the way down to 105. But all lanes are open. Getting word of a whole bunch of problems on the 710. So if you have to drive that in the next few minutes, stay with us. We'll let you know what's going on. And East 105 at Western, before you get to Harbor Freeway, a little bit of a fire, almost a camping fire, pretty sure, off the freeway. So don't let it distract you. Jeff Law, KFI in the sky.
Hey, kiddo, ready to catch that boost?
Almost. Wallet, phone, keys, mask. Yep, all set.
Man, it's not required, is it?
No, but it's going to be busy and crowded, so I'll feel better with it on.
He's right. It is open at night. Let me grab mine.
Nice! You passed the vibe check, Dad.
Wearing a mask when it can help protect you and others is just one way to keep each other safer. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
What do you mean I can't write off my lunch inside the pool with Malongo? It's called market research. Now your top reason to visit Malongo.
Donald Martin gift giveaway. Get a butterfly serving tray when you earn 500 points on your rewards card. The 11th is fun.
Number 2.
Scotto McCreary live April 24th.
And the number 1 reason.
The Scotto is open. Come get the freshest seafood by the one and only top chef, Fabio Viviani.
Morongo. Good times.
1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today. Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
At Keck Medicine of USC, we see the limitless potential in you. But what does limitless really mean? Limitless is sunrise brainstorms and midnight oil, elbow crease and extra miles. It's hours at work for breakthroughs we'll never forget. And hours of made-up stories for grandchildren who will remember forever. Here at Keck Medicine of USC, we see your limitless potential because we're limitless too. Keck Medicine of USC. Limitless.
Spring is here. The best time to get solar because you're going to get more electrical production in the spring.
SolarMax Technology's spring solar sale is on, so you can get solar for $49.93 a month with zero down and a 0.99% APR.
Take control of those electricity bills. Call SolarMax, get solar $49.93 a month, zero down, 0.99% APR.
Dial pound 250 on your cell and say that keyword SolarMax, pound 250 SolarMax, or go to solarmaxtech.com.
Monthly payment available on approved price. See also being 972 for you.
This is Jacob and Ronnie. If you've been in an accident, call 844-24-JACOB.
KFI AM 640.
I got radio station.
For more stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640. Bill Handel here on a Wednesday morning, April 6th. And some of the top stories we are carrying. First of all, locally, the weather is getting really hot. Really hot.
It's not just a slip. It's This test.
We'll stop that at some point. It's actually not a shit. It's just very hot. So as much fun as that's not, it's fun talking about this. And additional sanctions on Russia are going to be announced today. The Biden administration is freezing federal student loan payments through August 31. So you haven't had to pay your student loans for a while. That's extended. Now, we're in the middle, obviously, of some very interesting, if you want to use that word, difficult economic times. So here's some words that I'm going to throw at you that I think we're all familiar with. Inflation, certainly, that's here. Supply chain issues, that is certainly with us, and we've heard that bandied about a lot. Shortages of goods, wages going up, the economy on fire. I'll tell you a word you're not hearing, and that's recession. You go, wait a minute. Where does recession come in? And why are so many economists saying, let's look at the possibility, a real possibility of recession? We got rapid inflation, oil prices going up, global instability, and what we do know is most forecasters have lowered their estimates of economic growth this year. You can't match what happened last year. That's unsustainable. So we're going to have economic growth this year, and it's going to be good economic growth, relative to the aberrational year last year. It's going to be healthy, unless recession kicks in. And all of a sudden, we're looking at some very difficult times, even in light of what's happening. Now, that's a little confusing, because look at what's happening to us and the rest of the world. More than 90% of the jobs that were lost in the early weeks of the pandemic have come back. Employers are continuing to hire, and I mean at a breakneck speed. In March, we had that figure, 431,000 jobs that were added. Unemployment rate down to 3.6%. If you want a job, you have a job. And we've done story after story of how desperate employers are. The other day, I was passing a Taco Bell, and I looked at now hiring, because every place you go is now hiring, and I saw a sign that said, on that now hiring, $18 to $21 an hour at a Taco Bell. Forget about your college degree. Forget about getting into an entry-level position. You're not going to make 21 bucks an hour. You're better slinging tacos and pretending there's meat in the tacos. Yeah, there's meat in there. How do you know? Well, they told us. That's real meat. That's incidentally just a little slam against them. They really do use meat. About 3%. In any case, let's move on. Is that a lawsuit happening? Probably. And so if you look at the speed of this economy, if you look at the growth of this economy, a lot of economists are saying that the remarkable strength actually is carrying seeds of its own destruction. Now, how does that work? Well, look at our demand. Cars, homes, restaurants, the workers to build all of that has outstripped supply, and that leads to the fastest inflation in 40 years. And so what does the Fed have to do? It has to rein in inflation, because inflation is, if not the biggest, one of the biggest enemies of any economy. Inflation, it just hurts everybody. Your savings become useless, or worth less. The value of your house may go up, but that becomes artificial. The value of your retirement funds drops like crazy. The value of your 401, certainly 401 plans drop like crazy. Really hurt. So what the Fed have to do is do something called a soft landing, which means inflation rates have to be raised. The monetary supply, the Fed's actually producing money. We're the ones that pump money into the economy. And the United States can print, the government can print money. The problem is, the government can print all the money at once, therefore it covers its debt. That's not the way it works.
With nearly 49 cubic feet of luggage space available with a rear seat folded flat, the Matrix is certain to meet your cargo carry
destroys the confidence of an
Plenty
economy
of
and a
comfort-assuring
country.
amenities are packed in.
And this is what the Fed does. Keeps it all under control, but here's the problem. If you talk to William Dudley, former president of the Fed in New York,
When you get when
we
you
call
combine
it
fine
recession.
door
This is
versatility with improved
inevitable. You
small
know
car
why?
efficiency
The
and
Fed
modern
should have
stylistic
been raising
expression.
interest rates last
If you're
year.
Toyota,
And
the
there
answer
they would have
is
been
the
able
all-new
to tap the
2009
brakes on the
Matrix
economy.
hatchback.
Now, the economy is growing
An
so
attractive
quickly,
collection of cruises and
prices are
character
rising
lines
so
defines the
quickly,
Matrix's
that the only
body.
thing the Fed
Anchored to the
can
pavement
do
by
is
available alloy
slam
wheels
the brakes
measuring up to 18
on all of
inches
it.
in
How do you
diameter.
slam the brakes?
Powerful
You don't
sweatback
allow money to
headlights
go into the
operate in
economy,
visual
and you
harmony
get
with a
interest
sleek
rates
grille
high
and
enough to
large
slow
lower air
everything
dam,
down.
while
And boy, that
high-mounted
line
taillights
between
slide
a soft
elegantly
landing
into
and
the
a
rear quarter
recession,
panels.
a full-blown recession or a
With
real
nearly
serious
49
recession
cubic feet of
is
luggage space
very,
available with a
very
rear seat
thin.
folded flat, the
The
Matrix
Fed
is certain
has
to
a
meet your
job,
cargo carrying
and it is
needs.
not an easy
Horsepower.
one.
2009 Matrix.
So we have to be really careful. Look for it, because it may very well be coming. Now, the economy is a lot more complicated than any of us think. As a matter of fact, when the early massive computers were built, remember the Cray computer? There were two things that they needed that computer for, and it didn't bring the power that it needed. One, weather forecasting, and two, economic models for the economy. Those still are not understood, even in this day and age. The first union in an Amazon fulfillment center just happened in New York. How were the workers able to beat Amazon? Because they haven't up to this point. There's a whole story there that I want to share with you. Let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the Kfi 24-hour newsroom.
It looks like the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine is getting worse. Officials in Mariupol say
Lexus ensures the
160,000
safety and
residents are
security.
trapped and have lost power. They have no heat, water, or medicine. The House is expected to find
Give its
two former
passengers
Trump
with
advisors in
equipment
contempt
such
of
as
Congress
front
today.
and
Peter
rear
Navarro
side
and Dave
impact
Cavino
airbags,
ignored
and emergency
subpoenas to testify
communications
about the January
and
6th
four-wheel
attack on
disc
the
brakes with
Capitol.
ABS.
European health
New for
officials say they're
2011
investigating
is
a
smart stop
rapidly
technology,
evolving
a
outbreak
braking
of
system
salmonella.
enhancement that will reduce
134
engine power
kids
to help the
apparently
brakes
ate
bring the vehicle
chocolate
to a
Easter
stop.
eggs, and
The
it seems to be
G-X is
linked to
available with
those
all-wheel
eggs
drive
that
that provides
originally
optimal
contained a
traction
clear
and control.
surprise inside. From the driveway.com weather center, it's mostly
2011
sunny
Lexus
today,
GS
with highs from the upper 70s at the beaches to the
With
low 90s
36
inland.
power,
This report is brought to you by
performance throughout.
Indeed.com.
This
From the
vehicle
Southern
is
California
constructed
Toyota
with
Dealers
discerning
Traffic
driver
Center,
in mind.
let's go places. We're going to head off to the 710.
If, as a matter of fact, if you live in Long Beach, it's actually not quite sunny. It's still covered by a marine layer there, but north of the city of Long Beach, you're in pretty good shape. Now, North 710, Atlantic Banditti, indeed, there was a problem. It's a very busy off-ramp, as I'm sure you're aware of. But the northbound side, it's okay. It's a little slow north of 91 up to the I-5. Southbound, that's where all the fire is. My goodness. From Little Beach 4 to 105 all the way down to the harbor. Keep in mind, Long Beach Grand Prix has a lot of surface streets shut down, especially around Shoreline Drive. And finally, West 105, we're going to head up there
As
for another
Hyundai's
look.
first front
605 into LA,
crossover
it's growing
class,
slower.
the 2010 Santa Fe continues to defy expectations as a
Hopefully, things get a little bit better, but I'll have a look in just a little bit. Don't go away. Jeff Ball, KFI in the sky.
If your company needs to spring into efficient hiring, then check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Celebrate the start of spring and enjoy produce savings at Whole Foods Market. Get organic strawberries for $3.99 each through April 12th, while supplies last. Plus, try member save an extra
Step into
10%
the 2011
on the Whole
Dodge
Foods Market.
Challenger.
Spring is here.
Settle in
The
and
best
experience the
time to
rush.
get solar because you're going to get more electrical
This
production
two-door,
in the spring.
five-passenger
Solar Technology's
offers
spring
the
solar
features
sale
and
is
options
on,
for
so
which
you can
you've
get
been
solar for
searching.
$49.93 a month with 0 down and a
Dodge
0.99%
makes sure to
APR.
keep
Take
road handling
control of
and
those
sportiness
electricity
at the
bills. Call
top.
Solar Max, get solar, $49.93 a month, 0 down, 0.99% APR.
Dial pound
It features
250
an
on your phone
automatic
to
transmission,
activate Solar Max,
rear-wheel
pound
drive,
250
and a
Solar Max,
refined
or go to
six-cylinder engine.
SolarMaxTech.com.
Monthly pen, but they've got two sites. You got to be
Confidence
nice
employees are expressed
Spring
throughout the
break, here
exterior.
we come.
Can't
A
wait.
confident
It's good to
footprint
catch
is
these
created
Philippines
by
paddles.
an
It's
18-inch
pushing
alloy
already.
wheel.
We have to get tested right before we leave.
Oh,
The
such a
spacious
pain.
cabin provides
Not
ample
really. We
passenger
can just go to
volume.
COVID clinic. They have locations
You'll
all over
notice
Los
that the
Angeles.
headroom
You
and
can get your
legroom
results the
make
same
even the
day.
longest
That's right.
drives
COVID
enjoyable.
Clinic has convenient locations
Dodge
throughout Los
infused
Angeles.
the
You'll
interior
have your
with top
results
shelf
in the same day
amenities such
and
as
be ready to
a
track.
trip
COVID
computer
Clinic.
and
Here for
V3
your peace of
auxiliary
mind.
input jack,
Visit
steering wheel
COVIDclinic.org
audio
to find a
controls,
location near you.
illuminated cup holders, tires, and cruise
What do
control.
you mean I can't write off my lunch inside the pool with
Passengers
Miranda?
are protected by various safety
Market
features,
research.
including
And now,
head
let's
curtain
have 5
airbags,
reasons to
front,
visit
side,
Miranda.
and back
Never
airbags,
stop.
Get
traction
free
control,
access to the
brake
Olympic
assist,
Store when you book your
active
room at
latch front
Miranda
head
Casino
restraints,
Resort.com.
ignition
This course
disabling,
that includes the lazy
four-wheel
rip
disc
and
brakes with
modified.
ABS,
Number 4,
Don't also
electronic
give
stability
giveaway.
control,
Get a
supplementary
bonafide
animal
photo spray when you
systems,
earn 500
including
points on your
precise
reward
command
card.
of
The
movement.
11th is fun.
3,
Sky is
The
clearly
2011
April
Dodge
24th.
Challenger.
Get your tickets now. Number 2,
Well-equipped and fully
$500
capable,
drawing.
this
You
vehicle
can win
glistens in a
$500
crowded
cash playing
performance
table
coupe
games with
setting.
your reward card. Wednesdays and Thursdays, noon to 10:30 p.m.
and the number 1 reason.
Piscatl is open. Come get the freshest, most delicious seafood by the one and only top chef, Fabio Viviani.
Miranda Casino Resort.
Cannot be combined with any other option. Customers only. Restrictions apply. Callers be website for details. Offer expires 04/30/2022. CSW number 77832.
Ralph, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Ralph, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $36 or more. Restrictions apply.
And right now, you can save when you shop and save. Just buy 6 or more participating sale items and save 50-cent each with your car. Wow, fresh for everyone.
You are the proud possessor of a secret weapon. Your major appliances, washers, dryers, dishwashers. When you use your appliances outside the peak hours of 4 to 9 p.m., you're choosing times when renewable energy is plentiful. Now that's using your powers for good. SCE Time of Use Risk, an easy way to make a change for the better. Visit SCE.com/TOU rate for more information. Millions of Ukrainian refugees have been displaced from their country. They need our help now. iHeartRadio has teamed up with global citizens asking supporters around the world to use their voices to call on world leaders to mobilize urgent refugee relief and humanitarian aid. Join us this weekend for Stand Up for Ukraine. Find out how you can help by donating to relief organizations or by using your voice to advocate for support to fund this global humanitarian crisis. Go to forukraine.com and take action today.
I was on like a nickel machine. It was like $380 total.
Then they gave me a shirt that said, I want a jackpot. And we're walking out of the hotel. And she's like, hey, you gotta take that shirt off. They don't know how much you won. They think you're walking around with 30 grand in your pocket. The Tim Conway Jr. show. They don't take a picture and a shirt and hat for a guy won 380. Where's the rest of it?
Weeknights at 6 on KFI.
KFI AM 640. Joe Handel here on a Wednesday morning, April 6th with the morning crew. Some of the big stories we are covering. Expect some very hot weather today. That's okay. We'll do the Spitz Watch a couple more times, and that's it. And more sanctions are coming, and the Russians are just nailing cities in eastern Ukraine. It's getting very, very tough. More people dying. We're looking at getting evidence of these atrocities that have been committed by Russian troops. I mean, it's just so depraved. That's so medieval, so inhumane, and Russia actually denies any of that is happening. Not true at all. It's all a lie. No civilian targets whatsoever. Bodies found on the ground with arms tied behind their backs, shot in the head. Those are all staged. Ukrainians have actors and makeup artists that do that. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. But welcome to the modern world. All right, locally, hear me. Okay. Local. It happened in New York, but it's a story that I think is going to reverberate across the country. And we're certainly we're certainly in it because it has to do with Amazon and an Amazon warehouse. And in New York, Staten Island, the first Amazon warehouse in the country has been unionized. And Amazon has been fighting the unions ever since Amazon became a big player. So how do they do that? A couple things behind unionizing any shop, if you will, any organization, is that obviously pro-union members have to talk to the workers. By law, they're allowed to do so. It used to be that the organizations, the companies wouldn't let workers talk to each other about it. You'd be fired. And we certainly couldn't have meetings, but under the National Labor Relations Board and labor laws, they now have to allow them. At the same time, the employer has the ability to meet with workers, and in cases, they can make it mandatory meetings. So I want to tell you about a guy named Connor Spence. He's only 26. He's a Tier 1 associate at JFK 8, which is the warehouse in Staten Island. He's vice president for the Amazon Labor Union. It's not the AFL-CIO. It's its own union, not affiliated with any other union. It's right there, and that's it. It's an independent labor group. And it's formed, not by Amazon, but the whole country last year. But one election created the first union inside U.S. operations at Amazon. Now, this guy, Connor Spence, is pretty good, as I said. No prior experience in labor at all. Absolutely no background in organization or college or any of that studying this, but I'll tell you what he is. He took a particular interest in something called union avoidance consulting. And what is that? Well, there's a word to that. As he explained how he and his friends pulled off unionization, he describes the consultants that Amazon brings in. There are actual consultants who bust unions. And he said they operate in the shadows. And when you expose them, it makes it very difficult for them to do their job. He went underneath the surface, and boy, did he succeed. First of all, what Amazon does, and other companies, they run a...
Time Fighters BB 20. First, George, BB 20. Reggie, 937, 1 6 bit. What's happened for you?
Familiarize yourself with the 2011 Acura MDX. Go anywhere versatility with roomy practicality. A 3.7-liter V6 engine pairs with a sophisticated 6-speed automatic transmission, providing a smooth and predictable driving experience. Well-tuned suspension and stability control deliver a spirited yet composed ride and drive.
Acura perfected each and every component on the exterior surface. Stylish alloy wheels suggest both sport and refinement, residing elegantly within the fender arches. You can rely on ultra-bright xenon headlights to keep the roadway illuminated.
In colder climates, occupants will appreciate the heated front seats, pairing with the climate control to keep the driver and front passenger comfortable. All of the premium features expected of an Acura are offered, including power trunk closing assist, a power seat, and cruise control. Other available features include a blind spot monitoring system, a rear seat entertainment system, and more based on your selected trim.
Acura also prioritized safety and security by including dual front impact airbags with occupant sensing airbag, brake assist, and four-wheel disc brakes with ABS.
The 2011 Acura MDX. Distinctly rendered with the utmost precision, this vehicle is constructed with a discerning driver in mind.
What is that? This is a first art. Top faces for cruise control. Come on, Emmy. Yeah, yes. Emily. Emily, Joe. Emily. Robert and Joe. Emily. Dee and Stephen. bird and
然后好的那个羽毛球是9点15到这10点。小跑羽毛